Yeah, it's long, dark and handsome. Hey, how's it going, and welcome to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. So this is the first ever video that I'm doing that's going to have a first look and then the full review. So yeah, we'll go to past Stuart and he'll give you details on the first look, I suppose. Let's hear that pop. Wasn't very nice. Wasn't the best pops, it was alright. So we'll get a little pour in there and we'll let it sit for a bit and I'll try and talk about something else. There's a touch, I want to say there's a touch sulphur, but it's, well, it's more like, maybe not sulphur, it's more like a butcher's, Stevie always says a butcher's table, a butcher's cutting table or whatever, like bloody, rare, like a rare steak. There's definitely that element to it. It is really strong in the nose. You'd expect this to be more than 45% ABV. It's quite umami, quite kind of bitter, but it's got a nice sweet sherry element to it. Sherbet lemon, I want to say there's something citrus here. I'm not sure what the blend makeup is, it would be good to know. Get a little initial taste. So that's weird. Really juicy, just at the start, like a burst of an explosion of fruits, explosion of juicy fruits, but then rather rapidly it contorts and changes into quite a bitter, drying whiskey. It reminds me of like a dry wine. Obviously sherry's like a fortified wine, but it reminds me of, I'm not the biggest fan of wine, and it reminds me of the effect I get from wine when it really dries my mouth out, and that's what this is like. Yeah, that initial fruitiness, and then the wood, bitter, drying, roasted like cashew nuts or something like that. It changes rather like rapidly. It changes like that, from that fruitiness, that fruity explosion, to a nice bitter, drying evolution almost. It's quite a contrast. Lemony. Again, go with the sherbet, like lemon, sherbet lemon. I want to say it's like strawberry laces. Yeah, a real sweet, sugary, chewy strawberry lace. The finish is drying. It's I don't know if it's long. It could be medium to long, but yeah, quite drying. This is only obviously the neck ports, the popping of the corks. The first time I've tried it. So I've not exactly written anything down, but I think this will evolve over time. I think it needs maybe time with the cork off, time in the glass or something like that, because it seems like there's a lot going on. It seems like it's trying to show, there seems to be a wine element. I don't want to say it's just sherry. It feels like, it's hard because red wine and sherry are quite similar, but it seems like there's a red wine influence on it as well. So yeah, that was my first impressions of it. We'll get down to the full review. So it's £70 to £80 a bottle. This was. It's a Thompson Bros blend. It's malt whiskey blend, so there's no grain in there. It's 20-year-old, sherry cask matured, and it's bottled at 45% ABV. Now, this was purchased with the help of my Patreon supporters, and quite a few of them got a sample of this, and this is why it's dead so quick. I've actually only had, this is my third dram out of it, so yeah, I've only had 3 drams to explore it, so I hope that's enough, but I have taken notes, and I have explored it a little. I don't feel like it needs water. The sherry really helps carry it, and the ABV's low enough at 45%, so we'll get right down to the nose, palate and the finish, and we'll see if it's a Whisky Win or a Whisky Bin. So on the nose there's a banana element, but I want to tie it in with a malt loaf, so it's like a stodgy banana malted loaf that's been all held together, all covered in syrup, a real sticky syrup. There's leather there, there's blackcurrant, there's pipe tobacco or some sort of tobacco. I'm just trying to be specific, but I want to say pipe tobacco. It's a little earthy because of the tobacco element. There's something like, it's like burning electrics, and the only thing I can think of is like a burning electric motor from work. Whenever I've smelt like a burning motor or a motor burning out, there's that kind of electric, hot burning electric smell, or electrical wires. It's like a little, I don't know how to explain it, that kind of plastic, and I think the only way to explain it is if you've ever smelled like burning electrics, but that's what it smells like. Or like a Scale Electrics track, the kind of the plastic and that, and the hot elements that make the Scale Electrics go around. It's kind of like that smell. There's a plum flavoured fudge or something. Yeah, it's like something really sweet. So I think fudge, and then the plum element just kind of holster it all together. It's a really interesting nose. There's a lot going on. It reminds me a lot of Tamdhu. I'm not sure what blend this is. It's like I said, it's blended malt, so it's only going to have malt whiskey in it. And the only kind of companies that I can think of that would have this kind of character would be something like Edrington, quite sherried, and I believe Tamdhu were owned by Edrington back in whenever this was made, 20 years ago, 2001. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Tamdhu is now Ian MacLeod. But yeah, anyway, it smells that I feel like there's a Tamdhu element, that kind of overly sherried whiskey. We'll go down to the palate. Yeah, full-bodied, lovely, sticky, syrupy mouthfeel. Again, it's earthy. Again, there's tobacco leaf. It's like the creamy element. I'm trying to think. It's like a blackcurrant yogurt, almost like Muller Light or something like that, or Muller yogurt, where you've got the blackcurrant compote in the corner. Sorry, Muller corner. So you got the blackcurrant compote on the corner, and then you've got the yogurt, and you flip it over and put it all in, mix it together. It reminds me of that. Yeah, like blackcurrant yogurt. More leather, more wood, kind of a wood varnish element. There's a lot of dark fruits, a lot of sweet dark fruits here. And maybe some licorice coming through towards the end of the palate. The finish is long, once again sticky, sweet, syrupy, all in the mouth. It's long, dark, and handsome. It's long, dark, and it's great. It's a really nice finish. There's like dark forest gatto fruits, some chocolate there as well to go along with the dark chocolate, or the dark forest fruit gatto. It's a kind of chocolate cake, or even something like hot fudge chocolate or something like that. Some sort of cake that's stodgy, sweet, syrupy, sugary. It's all those really nice, sweet, sickly things. There's a little bit of a charcoal wood coming through now, a little bit of a charring, and as I said on the end of the palate, that licorice, the licorice is a lot more dominant now in the finish. It's very licorice in the finish, and that's all I'm really getting now because it's dominating my taste buds. So we'll get down to my rating. Do I think it's worth it? Would I buy it again, and would I recommend it? If we get at least 2 out of 3 of them, then it's a whiskey win. If it's only 1 out of 3, it's a whiskey bin. So, do I think it's worth it at £80? I think so. I think, 20-year-old, that's an old whiskey, regardless if it's a blend. 45% ABV, non-chill filtered, no added colouring. So you're getting all those good things on the label, all those good things in your contract for purchasing the bottle. And it's an old age, 20-year-old for £80. I think that's pretty good price. Pretty good price. I think it's a good price to pay. Would I recommend it? Definitely. If you've not tried this, it's worth it. If you're heavily into your sherry, you're not going to be disappointed. It's sherry through and through. I'm just looking at the label, trying to think if it's given any hints of any flavours or not, other than the sticky, melting hot fudge or melted licorice over. It kind of looks like something fruity below, like a strawberry or a kiwi or something like that. But yeah, that does definitely go with this whiskey. It's sticky, it's melting, it's syrupy, it's all over it. So yeah, I'd recommend it, worth a try. And would I buy it again? I think I might. It's one of those drams that are probably better suited for Christmas time, for like kind of by the fire, cold nights. It's not a summer dram, it's definitely a sweet, sticky, very feel-good dram. Makes you feel good, makes you feel a little bit naughty because of how like, sweet it is. A little bit naughty. What am I saying? So yeah, I think I would buy it again for like Christmas time and that. And even for cooking with, I think this would be like quite good in like a fruitcake or something or anything like that. Any of that kind of composition to cook with, I think it would be good. So yeah, it's definitely a Whisky Win. It's a great whiskey. The people who have the samples, I hope you're getting the same experience as me. And I'm kind of going to miss it because I've only had 3 drams of it. But there you go. I'm glad I shared it out, and I'm glad people are getting to try it. So thanks for watching. I've been Stuart. This has been Whisky Whims. I'll see you later.